Let's just do some really quick predictions here. So if you want to see my prediction for the main event or the first fight on the card, those videos are up and I can link to them in the description. I won't spoil it for you. I was going to say I'm not going to leave you in suspense like an asshole, but honestly, if you really want to see like what I think, just fucking go to the video and like skip to the end or something like that. But I'm not going to spoil it for the people who actually want to watch the whole video, because I go into detail like why I think what I think, and I basically outline, what I think about the fighters, each of them, and then I come to a conclusion. If you think that'd be cool, if you think that would be interesting, go take a look. Fucking take a gander, man. But in terms of Alexander Volkonovski versus Max Holloway, so I'm not doing a video on this one. The reason I'm not doing a video on this one is because I actually feel almost like I don't really know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make an accurate prediction based on legitimate reasoning, in the sense that the first time that this fight went down, I said Max Holloway was going to win. And the reason I said Max Holloway was going to win is because, A, if we're going to talk about just who these people have beat in commonality, right? Most notable name would have been Jose Aldo, okay? Alexander Volkonovski beats Jose Aldo in a decision, 3 rounds. Max Holloway stops and finishes Jose Aldo 2 times in a championship fight. Just based on that alone, you would give the edge to Max Holloway. It's like, so let me get this right. You faced Jose Aldo twice, one of the greatest featherweights of all time, and you finished him, and Alexander Volkonovski went to a decision. Just based on that alone, you would give it to Max Holloway. But then there was the addition of, what does Volkonovski have that's really going to be some sort of X factor to Max Holloway? We all know that Max Holloway has a decent ground game. He's got relatively good jiu-jitsu. We all know that Max Holloway is arguably a better striker than Alexander Volkonovski. I mean, are we all going to really debate that? So what is it that Alexander Volkonovski is really going to be able to do that's going to stop Max Holloway? Little did I know that Alexander Volkonovski decided to take the Jose Aldo route and leg kick the fuck out of Max. Leg kick the fuck out of him to the point where he couldn't even put his conventional leg forward, his left leg. He had to put his left leg back and stand in a southpaw stance with his right hand forward. And that completely threw Max Holloway off, because as Joe Rogan was saying throughout the entire fight, Max Holloway is a fighter who, similar to Tony Ferguson, will kind of switch his hips back and forth. And he's best he's best at fighting from orthodox to southpaw to orthodox to southpaw. If you just eliminate one of those, which would be the orthodox, and he only has southpaw, which he's less comfortable with, he becomes much less unpredictable and easier to handle. Brilliant fucking strategy by Alexander Volkonovski, by the way, because he is a shorter fighter than Max Holloway, which was another edge that I gave to Max. Him actually closing the distance and hitting Max is going to be so much harder. So he made himself longer with his legs, which was a great comment made by Dominic Cruz. And using that to cut down Max and also find openings and get his way in, he could actually land shots. Now, he didn't land many, but he landed more than Max on my first viewing of the fight. I thought he won all 5 rounds. Not only that, but Max is a pressure fighter. He walks forward. So Volkonovski, really all he had to do, throw a leg kick, and when Max comes in to counter, step back and counter the counter. And he did that multiple times throughout their first fight, and he just fucking outpointed him. He just outpointed him. And it's, what the fuck? This is how I felt after I watched the fight the first time. I was like, I can't even fucking believe that this just happened. Max Holloway, who we were all like is the greatest featherweight of all time, was just fucking outpointed. Like, of all of the ways to, I don't know, man. It was just kind of shocking. It was just kind of shocking that was how it ended up going down. For that reason, I just want to say, I believe that Alexander Volkanovski is going to win this fight again. Now, that's not necessarily because I don't think that Max Holloway learned his lesson. I'm sure that he's worked on checking leg kicks. But this is a point that I want to make about Australian fighters. Not even Australian fighters, just the New Zealand city kickboxing as a team and Eugene Behrman generally. But especially with Alexander Volkanovski. There is an energy there that is so, I want to say intimidating, but I don't even know if that's the right word. It's fucking, there is, man, I'm telling you, man, there is a power down under. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I felt it, and this is interesting to me at the very least. Before Alexander Volkanovski fought Max Holloway the first time, I felt it, and I had the feeling like Alexander Volkanovski was going to win. Like he just had the power to do it. But I ignored that gut feeling, and I was wrong. I tried to stick to the facts, and the facts did not dictate what happened in the fight. But I felt it before they even fought. And I feel it again. I'm not going to ignore it this time. There's something about Alexander Volkanovski and his team and the way that they carry themselves and conduct their fighting. It's all business. It's like a more, I almost want to say it's almost Patriot-like, but it's not the same. The Patriots are kind of different. That's a football team for those of you who don't know. But my point is, I feel like they just look at the game very fucking differently. Like, I just feel as if, even if Max Holloway can figure out how to combat the leg kick, they've planned 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of that. I just feel it. There's just an energy there at that team, and it's so real. It's so real, man. I mean, they're really fucking killers over there, but just in a controlled business-like sense. Like, this is just how we do it. We just do things. We go in there, we execute. And in the embedded video, Eugene Behrman said it, we're just going to outpoint him. So they're planning to do the same thing. They're planning to do the exact same thing. And I don't know, man. All I can say is that I think that Volkanovski is going to win. Because there's no way, honestly, man, there's no way that the people who masterminded the victory the first time are dumb enough not to realize that Max Holloway could all of a sudden check all of the kicks. Like, they've got to have thought of what happens if he does that. Especially because this is also a camp that makes a point out of worst case scenarios. They will literally throw their fighters in training into the worst case scenario and just see how they handle it. So I don't doubt, man, that they've thought of everything. They must have. I don't know if Max Holloway has somebody like that in his corner. I don't think Max Holloway has a Eugene Behrman. I think that he's out masterminded here. And he's a great fighter, but if he doesn't have somebody who's going to guide him like that, then I don't think he's going to be able to take Volkanovski out. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, Volkanovski has incredible sparring partners. I don't know who Max Holloway is sparring with, but Volkanovski has access to Dan Hooker, Israel Adesanya, like Kai Kara France. He's got like top tier competition to train with, and they're like almost all of them are taller than him as well, and they're strikers. So he can simulate what Max Holloway is going to do. Maybe I should have made a video on this. I don't know, man. My point is just this, that I believe Alexander Volkanovski is going to win. This is my belief.